into the Badlands, Season 2, Episode 7, Black Heart, White Mountain. Really enjoyed this episode. We got to see sort of an alternate reality a little bit for Sonny. We get even more questions with Baji. I don't even know what to think about him anymore, because it was like last time we get the reveal that he used to be, a part of the Abbots. This time we get a bit of a greater backstory for why he even left. We find out that the reason he doesn't have his power is because he actually used it to he brought a girl back to life, which I thought was very interesting. It shows another level as to what their powers can do, but if you do that sort of thing, then it gets rid of your power forever, compared to the way M.K did it, where he learned the truth about himself and he ultimately ends up kind of defeating his darker half and ultimately suppressing his powers completely. So that I thought was pretty cool. We get the explanation there. We find out that there is a character to maybe be revealed in a future season. Odds are she's not going to show up in the next 3 episodes. So maybe we'll end up seeing this girl in Season 3, or maybe they'll save her, for a little bit later. But it was just interesting. It's like, okay, we get this cool story about him. He's going, back to the monastery with M.K. They're fighting all the abbots and the novices and stuff. And they get the cure, or they get the needles in order to cure Sonny, who actually did get what was basically the 5-point palm exploding heart technique from Kill Bill. It was like the 5 deadly poisons or something. So they get the needles and all this stuff is working. And then it's like, why did he take the compass? It made no sense. It was like, so is he trying to get there himself? Is he maybe from Azra? Maybe, it's hard. It's like, there's so many questions in my head. I'm like, either he's from there, or he thinks maybe she's there, or maybe he thinks that's where he can get his powers back. But even then, it doesn't make sense as to why he would hide that from M.K. and Sonny, because the both of them are trying to get back and find their homes. Why not just team? I mean, they're teaming up right now anyway. Why not just take them along and say, hey, we'll just go together and we'll all get some answers? Unless he's trying to get his power back and he knows that he'll have to do something crazy. So I don't know. It just brings a whole new layer to his character, where it's like, I just don't know what to think of this guy. It's like, he's helping them out. He steals the compass, which, like I said, I mean, he didn't know anything about it outside of M.K. saying the actual name of the city. And I feel like that's the only reason he would have taken it, because that's probably where he's from. Or, I don't know, I mean, that's all I can really think of, is that that's where he's from. Because clearly it's something relevant to the monastery and to the abbots that Azra is a thing, because they even showed in the recap in this episode, where M.K. is like, I found out that Azra was real, and that, the master was lying to me about it not actually existing. So there's clearly some tie to that city with the abbots. And so that's, that makes the most sense as to why he stole it. But I still just don't understand why he wouldn't think it was a better idea to take all of them along. But there's got to be something to it. Like, he either wants his power back and he knows that he can't take them along because he might have to do something bad, or, there's just something to it. So, big question up in the air when they kind of had him take the compass at the end, because I'm just like, man, what does this mean for his character? And what does it mean that this city truly does hold as far as mystical abilities and stuff like that? And once again, it makes me wonder, does Sonny have some sort of latent abilities that just maybe never manifested in himself? Or, there's just so many questions. It just makes me wonder, because now we have M.K. who used to be there, Sonny used to be there, and now Baji who used to be there, and he also had powers. And it just keeps bringing up this question, like, man, there might be something to Sonny that might explain why he's so good, even though he doesn't actually use his powers. So, I don't know, it just makes more theories for the show, but I'm excited to see where they take that. The other big part of this story, of course, is Sonny in his sort of nightmarish dream, where he's with Vale and he's with his son, and he's kind of just going through, slowly suffering the side of him as a murderer. And I thought that was very interesting, because it's him with his family and he's actually happy. And then it starts off with the pigs being slaughtered, which I love that it was like, you have to, when you have to tell kids something so they don't freak out. I was like, it must have been a wolf that totally perfectly put these crosses on all of these pigs and lined them up like that. Must have been a wolf. So it made me laugh, but I'm like, that's a funny thing, because your parents actually do that sort of thing. They just say, oh, it must have been like a normal thing you already know about, not something absolutely insane. So I like the way that played out, where it's him kind of being taunted a little bit, and he ultimately gets tortured by this one girl who, just one of the marks on his back. That's kind of what it all ends up being. And so he goes through suffering just the small dangers as it continues on further and further, until eventually his son actually kills his own wife, and then things just get absolutely insane because all these people start coming out and it's all the people he's murdered. And so all the marks are on his back, and they did a really cool job with that because they made it look like it was just done, like if they were actually like carved into him. So it looked kind of gross because it looked like they were like indented into his body. So they did a great job with the makeup on that. And the people are like basically slashing him for every time he's killed someone, he gets cut. And they did like almost like a fiery slash effect, like the sound effect I thought was really cool. And so he's just getting surrounded and he's being tortured with the people that he's murdered for, you know, barons. People that he didn't even care to kill or didn't care about if they lived or if they died. Wouldn't have killed them in any other situation, but he was told to, and then he just did what he was told. So, you know, we get to see him go through this crazy path of having a pseudo-perfect life, like what he's always wanted with a wife and child. And it just falls apart because of his former life. So it's kind of like, the, you know, his sort of redemption thing where he was this killer and him trying to switch to having this normal life. He's kind of tortured by that again, kind of like when he was talking with Silver Moon, where it's like, you know, we don't get to have that sort of thing. We're killers and then we have nothing. We don't get to be killers and then go to the perfect life. We don't, at least not permanently, because like with Silver Moon he had it, but then he lost it. So it's like you might get to have it, but eventually it's going to fall apart because of who you used to be as, you know, a clipper, the greatest clipper, you know. So it was just really cool. Like I really love the way they did that for his story arc. The other part of this story, which we got like some snippets in here and there, just the crazy Baron, just massacre stuff going on. It's just getting really intense now. And so of course we have the Widow teaming up with the worst person ever. So of course they go in. It was kind of cool the way they did it, whereas like, it just really sucked. It was like, so we already have this compound that's basically, it was like, you know, you have your main Baron from the first season, you end up having this Baron's son. The Baron who you thought died left everything to his son, things kind of fell apart there, and then things left from the son to the son's wife, and then things fell apart even further, especially when they ended up getting attacked. Everybody's just taken off, and it's just like, this sucks. Everything's falling apart, and I really don't know where they're going to lead things by the end of this season. I'm very excited because based off what they showed in the promo, I'm really curious how this little alliance is going to end up playing out in the next episode, because we actually have Sonny teaming up with Cho, I believe her name is, and he's in the white suit and everything, so I'm actually really excited for that. But he's going to end up going against the Widow. MK and Sonny end up running into the Widow, and the Widow's like, you know, don't worry, MK, you're safe. So there's so many different dynamics as to what they could do in this next episode. I'm super excited for. But MK seems to have joined them. Also in the promo, one of my favorite things about the promo, they showed them using different weapons. They weren't using blades. I'm sure they used them, of course, but they were using like crossbows and stuff. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. That's admittedly that's like the closest we've come to seeing like other types of weapons, because everything's been bladed or, you know, like bow staves and sticks and stuff. But I thought that was really cool. It's like, okay, they actually do have, you know, projectile weapons that they can shoot. It's not just shuriken and kunai and stuff. They have like crossbows and things. Because I don't think, not that I can remember at least, I don't remember ever seeing like even a bow and arrow in this series. So it's actually pretty crazy. I'm sure it's been in there. I just don't remember from season 1. But it was just interesting when they had all these guys. They're all dressed in white and stuff shooting up this bus. And I'm like, that's just a bunch of crossbows. They didn't go to fight. It was like, nope, we're just going to shoot from here. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. We haven't seen that sort of thing yet. And you know, we know they have explosives, so they have grenades and things like that. Or, well, maybe they don't. You know, who knows how they're deciding to work around it. I'm sure they have grenades. If you can make a tripwire explosive, you can make a grenade. It's the same principle. You just throw it. So it was just really cool. I was like, that's cool. They're kind of moving into seeing, you know, showing us different types of weapons and stuff that still aren't up to the level of guns. But it's just like that, you know, this sort of evolutionary thing. So we got blades again, which, you know, that came from the outlaw of guns, but we still have crossbows being allowed and stuff like that. So like that was just a really cool thing to see in the promo. But really looking forward to the action and the way everything played out in this episode. I don't know. Apparently, we have a man who's like, I'm a baron again, and I am entitled to as many wives as I please. So I don't know what the heck his plan is. So we have 3 ladies. I really don't care about Belle at this point. I don't even know what to think with Lydia. Like I said before, like, I don't know, the weird, like, he put some blood on her lip and it was like a crazy drug thing and they just made out and so she's good now. I don't know, I don't really care. But Vale is the only person that really matters. I mean, I can't even think of the girl's name, like, Ryder's wife. I really can't think of her name right now. But, I mean, she's okay. I don't hate her. Like, I feel like she never did anything, like, really bad. Outside of the stuff she did with Lydia where it was kind of like that betrayal sort of thing. outside of that, though, she's not like a horrible person or anything. So it's like, hey, I'm kind of up in the air with Lydia. It's the same sort of thing. I don't find either of them really bad, but I really don't care about them as much as I care about Vale. So we'll see how it all plays out with, you know, just this crazy Baron and his wives sort of setup thing, and then of course the Widow having her battle against Sonny and how in the world that's supposed to play out, and the characters finally seeing each other again, and her wanting to protect M.K, but Sonny of course wanting to kill her. And I'm sure that'll only be increased, like his level, you know, he already just made a deal, like, hey, I'll kill her and then everything's good. I'm pretty sure he didn't know that she basically gave Vel up again. So I'm pretty sure once he finds that a little bit of information out, he's going to lose it. Because he already knows he didn't kill the Baron. You know, he didn't kill the man that he was sent out to kill. So we have a guy who's not only alive, reclaiming everything. He fully reclaimed like his house and everything in this episode, although it seems like he's still in the train station at the end. So I don't really know what to expect there, but I think Sonny's going to be super pissed in this next episode, so I'm certainly looking forward to it. But I love what they did with, you know, the action, of course, is always good, but the story in this, where it's like, it brings up questions of what's going on with Baji and what they're going to do with M.K and Sonny, and Baji didn't seem to really be with them a lot in the promo, so I don't know if he ends up taking off with the compass, trying to find the city himself, and maybe we don't see him for the rest of the season, or how that's supposed to play out. But I just think it's really interesting where they're headed with these characters. You know, they're all these characters together, but the stories are just so vastly different. It was actually really simple when I think about the first season. It was like, basically you have these people that own these people, and so they all fight each other. And that was pretty much the whole season. And one person loved somebody else and they had a baby. That's pretty easy. And another kid with superpowers, they were just going to leave. It's like, this sucks, let's leave here and go somewhere better. That was the whole first season. And now we have people all split up. Like, I need to escape here. I thought they were going to help me learn my magical abilities, and they're crazy, so I need to leave here. I lost a friend. I got sent out to be a miner, and then I met another dude who ends up formerly having magical powers. And so all this crazy stuff, the conclave and all the barons and stuff arguing and fighting, and people dying and people coming back to life, and all sorts of crazy stuff in this season. And we got 3 more episodes left, so I don't know what the heck to really expect for these next couple, but super excited. Really enjoyed what they did in this episode. I'm really looking forward to more of the Baron stuff, and it seems like that's kind of a big point because they're bringing in Chow again, and hopefully that is her name. I'm gonna have to look it up to remember like the new Barons by their actual names. But her coming back into play, I think, is going to be pretty good, especially considering she was like the main one who was going against the Widows. Like, you know, she was the one who could have helped her, even though it didn't matter because everyone else voted no anyway, so it probably wouldn't have made that much of a difference. But she was like the main one fighting against her, so I think they have like the biggest rivalry at this point. So it'll be cool to see her come in. Plus, bringing in the characters, you got red, blue, and white, and I just think the color dynamics look really cool. The people, you know, like the Widow's people, they wear like sort of like British style outfits. They have like the vests and the bowler hats for the guys, and then all the ladies have dresses. For, you know, well, I guess it's different. It's constantly just in motion. Just, I don't even know what to actually call them. They're like nobody's people, nobody's clippers anymore. But in the red, you had all the guys had like the long jackets and stuff, and now in the white, they have like almost like British militarized jackets, which once again makes me think this is set in the UK, in like a post-apocalyptic UK. Now that I look at all the clothing, I think it is. But they have like almost militarized outfits, but they're just all white. They also kind of look like fencing outfits because they're like quilts a little bit on the front. But I love the outfits, and I'm excited to just see this, you know, kind of grand clash in these next couple of episodes. But of course, we'd love to know what you guys thought about this episode, so please comment below. Let me know your favorite parts, least favorite parts were. And I definitely want to know what theories you guys have on Baji now that we've seen him take the compass. What in the world does that mean for the city of Azra? What does it mean for Baji possibly getting his powers back, finding this girl that he's looking for? What does he know? I mean, there's just so many questions. Like, him taking that compass adds so many elements to the show. It's insane. It's just a million questions. Sadly, I just don't think any of them are actually going to get answered in the next 3 episodes. Maybe one of them will. Who knows? Maybe, excuse me, we'll find out that that is where everyone comes from that has powers. And maybe Sonny just didn't have powers, but he was still from that sort of clan. But it brings in so many questions and new theories. So I would love to hear your theories on what the heck it means, why he stole the compass and, you know, kept it away from 2 people that were clearly headed in the same direction. Why not just, you know, why not just team up with them? So We'd love to know what you guys think he's hiding, and of course I want to know what you guys thought about this episode in general, so please comment below, let me know, and thanks for watching.